G'day YouTube, Brass Brad here, back with a closer look at some of my 2015 metal detecting finds, the knife and money department. And as always, I try and be informative and a little bit of story to go along with it here. Anyways, that hunting knife there, it was found on my own property, and the silver one there was found on my grandpa's old property. So the rest were all found in the bush. Yeah. And the one here, wonder if it replaced my grandpa's old knife here. Grandpa had one identical to that and ended up losing it somewhere when he probably it was about the early 80s. He was about 80 and lost a chewing tobacco knife that he had for years and years and years. Identical to that, pretty near. A little wee short blade, all sharpened down over the years. A lot of use, a little wooden handle. Could be Grandpa's old chewing tobacco knife. And I don't know if that ever replaced it or not. It was on their lot. That one was in the bush. So, you might have your knife, Grandpa. And more Grandpa history here. Used to go cutting cedar brush with Grandpa. Make a little bit of spending money for some Pepsi and stuff. By the time I was 8 or 12, I was out cutting that stuff, and later on in the years on my own, but with Grandpa at first. And we call them brush snips around here. And we'd use them and go out and cut cedar. If it was all rough and scraggly, we'd throw a rope in the back of the truck and up over the roof and throw a big heap of this brush in, haul it to the kiln yard, and they'd give you about $60 a ton for it. It took an awful big load to get a ton, but it could be done. And then flat brush, nice straight stuff they make Christmas wreaths out of, and ornaments and funeral arrangements and stuff there. It was going for 6 or 7 cents a pound or something like that, I think, back in them days. Prices, that's something I don't think's hardly ever went up over the years. And the flat stuff we used to bundle 30, 40 or 60 pound bundles or whatever, as long as you could lift them, I guess, and it would add up. Never made any more than $60 a day at something like that. But one time Grandpa let us take his truck, old 69 GMC flare side thing, and we'd go out. I was wheeling around in that thing cutting cedar brush with buddies. By the time I was 14, we got her bogged so bad one time in a swamp, and snuck home, got Dad's Massey Harris tractor, came to pull it out, and got it bogged too. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, a homeowner came by and heard the ruckus, and came down there with his big Chevy 4x4 jacked up and pulled them both out attached together. So there was no sneaking home with Dad's tractor because there was a mud trail a mile out the highway and right in the driveway, so he knew something was up. Hard to hide that. And we'll slip over to this here. Was also in Granny and Grandpa's old property, and it says Mom on it. It's a little picture frame. It was still in the plastic bag, so it might have been my mother or my uncle that dropped that in the driveway there. Going to Granny, and do this change here. That 1950 penny was the oldest. I think I found it in that parking lot with the ceramics and fire hose valve and stuff. I think, even though some of them would look burnt. But up to 2004 for the pennies. I think these nickels start at 68 and go up to 88. None of them odd long ones there, the 12 or 14 sided ones or whatever, and I've had them in the past and might have some kicking around yet, but not from metal detecting, but surprised I didn't find one with that octagonal shape there. And dimes are like 74 to 88, I think, too. 99 memorial thing, quarter. And some of the, there's loonies and toonies, and in the printer 2000s. Old button, really hard to read the writing on it, just could be off a denim of some kind. That, I think it's a toe ring, got little hearts and kind of bubbles on it. Hearts and bubbles. Hard to focus. It says Sterling on the back, got a little trademark. That's nothing, I don't think. That's barely nothing either. But yeah, so I guess some of this money here was out of the grandparents' old property as well. One of them was in a baggie actually too. Could have been one me myself, or one my brother or something got sent to the store with a bag of money and dropped it there in the 70s or 80s. So a little bit of family history there, a couple of little stories, and as usual I try and make it interesting for you, and appreciate anybody willing to watch. Okay, thanks, bye.